Alright, now for this tutorial we're going to begin working on the windows and the glass of the car. And to get started with that, we're going to start by making these the seams where the windows go to. So looking at the picture, we can see there's this little bar here. There's one coming down here. And you can't see it all that well here, but there's actually a triangle piece that fits here. It's just about on every car that I've seen, and I also know because I looked at some pictures of the Jaguar online real quick. Mainly because of this piece right here, which you can't see all that well, but there is a little wedge piece here, and also here. So we're going to start out by modeling those parts, and we're just going to go ahead by starting off with the cube again. So we're going to throw that right there, and move it over here a little bit, and we can go ahead and scale it in this direction. And we're going to need to create a seam here from where our door is here and up here, and continue it through this piece, so that, you know, you wanted to open the door, this piece would basically separate and the window would come out with the door. It doesn't stay in place. You'd hit your head every time you try to get out. So we're going to bring that seam down to make it look like that's what would happen if you open the door. And again, if you actually wanted to do that, you could extract the faces and then go ahead and extrude some edges inwards to give it some depth. But right now we're not going to worry about that. So let's see if we need any subdivisions. Width, and no, we don't need those. Height, we'll go ahead and give it 1 in case we need to curve it with the contour here in the side view. So mainly we're just going to need these edges right here. So we'll need here to here to be a solid piece to make up that, and then we'll go in and come back out and go straight across again. So looks like we have enough edges right there actually. And if not, we can always use the poly split tool. I guess it's actually the split poly tool. You know what I'm talking about. You should by now. So we can go ahead and rotate this here. Scale it in a little more. And we'll go ahead and start scaling these parts up here. So bring that out here. Actually, I'm going to bring it down and go ahead and scale it this way first. I'll make it a little wider up at the top. And now we'll go ahead and bring it up and in. Do the same thing with this part here. Let's try and scale it in a little more to make it sort of curved here. And bring this one down. Scale it out just a tad. Bring it down like that. And now with that done, we can go ahead and select this whole row here. Move it over. We'll actually have to do it. All these rows, we're just scaling in here. And then we'll have to move them over to match the seam right here for the door. So about like that there. And have to move them back for the top part. And we gotta move these back too. So maybe something like that. So now we want to go ahead and get the curvature a little more accurate. It doesn't curve this much if you look there. It's pretty close to being straight. If not straight. We're going to leave it a little bit curved though. And now I can adjust this here at the top. Make that look a little bit better. So something about like that. You can actually come in here and delete these faces. We don't need those. And do the same thing at the bottom. And now if we come in here and select these vertices, we can actually just point snap them to this top part of the car there. That's right there. Yeah. And just like that. Now we do the same thing at the bottom here. Looks like we need to snap this to here. This one right there, and this right here. And then we'll go back and make sure this edge here and this edge here aligns with these right. And actually we can just go ahead and snap this to this edge and this to this edge actually. Might make our life a little easier. And do the same thing up here at the top. Or at least just eyeball it so it's pretty close. See if we can just go ahead and snap it here. Make sure we get the right edge. Like that. And that's not what I wanted. Just eyeball this one. So worrying about edge snapping. Gonna do the same thing here. And here. So now I gotta bring it in. Bring it down just a tad bit. Go ahead and bring this up because it will affect the how this edge or this face here rounds out. So we'll bring that up a little bit. And the same right here. Actually pull it back and then down. I think it'll work a little better. So I'll do it that way. Do the same thing up here. So up and then back. Just trying to keep these lines, these edges here, parallel to each other. You won't be able to see that in the top, so we're good. There's good enough. And now looking at these edges, so we need to bring this over to match how it fits with the car body and the top here. And then bring it down. So about like that. If we were to go ahead and round it out, see, it looks like that. And we get a little bit of a gap there, so we might have to go ahead and move that point in. But then again, it will probably close once we smooth this out and convert this body to sub D. But if it doesn't, we can always go back and manually move the point, or just connect this to the body if we really wanted to. And now we can go ahead and start up here in the front with this piece right here. And so we don't have to worry about the seam that we had back here, because the door is going to open up all the way through here and take the mirror with too. So we don't have to worry about the seam or crease there. So we're going to do the same thing, or the same way as the other though, and start with the box. So just move the cube up and over. Scale it in a lot this way. And this way. And divide its height by 1 again, like the other one. And now we're going to delete the faces we don't need. So the back to start off with. And again, we're not going to need the top or bottom. And if we leave those there, then it's if we end up smoothing or converting to sub D, it is going to affect the overall shape. But when we go ahead and delete that edge, or those faces there, then it's not going to round this part out here at all. It'll just come straight and round off the sides, which is how we want it to be. I'll go ahead and rotate it like this. Just need to move it. Maybe scale it in a tad bit more. Rotate it like that, and that's good enough for now, because we're going to remove these vertices. So, and actually looks like it rotated a little bit in the wrong axis. Or no, I guess not. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. It happens, but not very often. Okay, so it does. So now we'll move these in manually. Make them line up with this top bar right here. was the problem. So actually, if I just undo this and I rotate it, not what the problem. I don't know what I'm talking about. But there we go. This will make our lining up easier, I hope. So I'm just going to extend this like that. Bring it back here. Go ahead and line it up here. I'll start tweaking this middle one and the bottom one here. Actually, do more like that. Bring that down like so. Bring this way back and down too. Like so. I think we'll actually line up the back edge here. About like that. There we go. Maybe check the top again. I think that'll work. So now I'll just straighten these out here. So something about like that. Now we just got to do a little triangle piece right here. You could actually go ahead and extrude one of these edges down, but we're just going to go ahead and use a cube again. And scale it down. And we're going to need at least, well, actually we could move these down that way, but we're going to go ahead and give it 1 for height as well. So you wouldn't actually need to do it, like add a subdivision in the height here, but we're going to go ahead and do it. Again, move these vertices down now. This will just help us be able to contour it with the body of the car a little better. And also maybe add a little bit of a curve to it like that. And go and bring, actually, before we do that, let's delete these faces that we don't need again. Actually, we probably will need those back faces there, but we won't need this one and this one. We actually won't need this or this either. So I'm going to delete that like so, and delete these back here. Like that. And so now again, the only place it's going to be rounding is this face and this face, and this one in here, and then these two faces together. So it's not going to round it out where it connects to the car at all, because we don't want it bubbling over. So I'll leave it like this. Could move these over. Move these over here. And again, we're going to go with the back edge here. This one we can probably bring out. But we are going to need it hiding back here. Like that. Let me take a look at the top view. And bring this here up and over. And it's also going to round this part here out, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it down there. And bring this edge here up. So now even if we convert it real quick, it still rounded that out a little too much, so I'm just going to undo that. And maybe we'll just bring these over more. More like that. Do the same thing with this one here. Like that. And go ahead and bring this back here more even. So now if we go ahead and convert it again, we'll see it does hide back in there. Like so. So I can undo that. Get out of that. And now we have our little brackets or wedges here for the windows. We can actually go in and start adding the glass. And since we're not going to be opening the door, or at least I'm not going to be opening the door or rolling the window down, I don't need any kind of depth to my glass. So I'm just going to go ahead and use simple polygon planes. I'm going to start out by rotating it and bringing it in. Let's start out with the window here. And then scale it out like here. And there. And again, we don't need nearly that many. Maybe 4. And probably even less for the height. Okay. Actually, it's okay. It's turned over. So 2 there. and 4 there, like that. So go ahead and rotate this a little bit. You can go ahead and rotate it this way. Now we'll just go ahead and start moving these vertices around. Actually, let me focus in on this. See if we can't point snap this here. Like that. And also right here. And right here. It looks like we can do the same thing for there, and this to here, this to here, and this to here perfectly. So go ahead and point snap that there. It looks like there's a place up here. And if I turn my wireframe on shaded, go ahead and connect it right there. I'm trying to move this here in the middle a little bit. Snap that there. And snap that one there. This one here. Probably need to snap it to that one back there. And like that. And there. And then here. So now we just have to come in here and start smoothing this out a little bit. If we actually keep this the same height, it'll be a little bit easier to do in the top viewport. Maybe we want to give it a little bit of a bubble so it's not completely flat, because they are curved slightly most of the time. I should probably need to make it a little more art. I think that there will work. So now there's some glass for us. Maybe we want to go ahead and assign it the blend material that we have on our wheel. Just to make it a bit easier to see. Now what happens if we round all this here out? You can see the glass is still sticking out a little too much. So we probably want to go back into our vertex. Select these right here. Actually, I can't move them in on the bottom because I'm just going to have to put that edge there. So, I have to actually extrude this edge in a little bit for that part of the car body. So what we'll have to do now is just push this in to make it look like it's resting back here. And we'll end up extruding these edges inward so that there's not a hole there. And that way the glass won't run flat with these little wedges or bars that we have coming here. It's actually supposed to slide into the... So to fix that, we'll just extrude these edges inwards. And now we'll go ahead and work on this glass piece here. Again, we don't need that many. I think 2 will probably be enough. So we'll leave it at that. We're going to go ahead and do this the exact same way. So throw that to that point there. Go ahead and point snap it to there. Do the same thing down here. Rotate back here so our mirror's out of the way. Snap that right there. I'll just eyeball this one to the edge here. Then we'll have to bring it down and back so there's no holes. I'm going to go ahead and snap it right there. Maybe you should actually snap that there. It looks like we could actually use some more edges here. Bring this part right here back. So we'll go ahead and use our split polygon tool. Start from there, bring it right back here. snap that there. Okay, now it's fitting in there nicely. So now all we have to do is adjust this point here. Do that like that. And go ahead and use our split polygon tool again. Use it right here this time. Again right here. Maybe we'll just do it like this here. I don't have to merge those vertices. Check, make sure there's only one there. There it is. So now there's that glass. Go ahead and slide it back just a little bit. Actually, I think this would be better off if we just move these back here. To match about how it does with that other piece we made. About right there. Really just snap to this back edge there. So I can snap this to the back edge too. And this too. So I snapped them to the front and we actually needed the back. That's the only thing I messed up on. Should actually do the same thing here. We'll just have to bring this here back. About like that. So it's looking a little better now. Again, we'll go ahead and assign it the blend that we made. Now we just need this piece here for the side. Same thing with the plane. Two in the width, I guess. And then we'll give the height here. Oh, looks like we just need 1, 2. So 3 should be about right. So this will go there, that there, and this one right here. So now we'll go back to start moving these vertices. Like it's back a little too far. We actually need to move this vertice back a bit. Not like that. So that fits a little bit better. Bring this out just a little bit more, like that. It looks like that'll work for this part. Or maybe we should go ahead. Just look at some of these edges here. I just extrude them. Like that. Go ahead and make sure, see if it separated these, and it didn't, so that's good. And do the same thing with this front part of the car. And this front side part. Back like that. So now hopefully we don't have any holes in our windows where they connect to the car. Looks good so far. Go ahead and assign that blend to here. Just so it's easier to see, to separate the pieces. Now we'll go ahead and add a windshield. And again, just using a plane. This time rotate it this way. And again, we're just going to delete half of it. You could push the whole thing over to the right and then end up moving the pivot point later on by just hitting the insert key. But we're just going to go ahead and delete the left side of the faces, the left half. And again, looks like we got too many here. So for height, we're probably going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was right this time. For width we need 1, 2, 3. Probably just 4 there. About the same for the top. So if we just bring that down to 8, and go in here and delete this. Go back into vertex, and we'll just rotate the whole thing. And we're not going to point snap it this time, because the windshield comes down underneath all these right here. But we can go ahead and point snap to the top part. And it's definitely not where we want it. Right there. Oh, this is not in the right spot either. Okay, that'll work. And we can also go ahead and snap it to the side parts here. Snap to that edge. Same thing here. Like that. It looks like it'll work out better if I snap it up here. End up changing these to snap right here instead. Actually, no, we're not. Let's undo this. But we'll leave this one snapped there. And now we just come in here and start moving all these points here manually. Because you know it's your favorite thing to do. So we're just going to start out by roughing these out. So now we get them roughed out. Go in here and start tweaking them. Actually, let me get that viewport. So maybe we'll just have these follow the contours here. We can't really see it in this drawing. So now go ahead and look down here. And sort of, you need to go from this contour here really to more of this one down here. So more like that. So it's going to become much more curved down here towards the bottom. So we'll just roughly move this out there. So I'd say it is becoming more rounded here at the bottom. So now we have our windshield there. Looks like there's a bit of a bump right here. Looks like this here needs to be fixed a little bit. And this one here. Still isn't quite right. That's looking a little bit better now. And none of the imperfections like that will be really noticeable once you smooth it out. I'll go ahead and assign the material to it. So I need to go ahead and get this part up here. Small little section there. Looks like we need 1, 2, 3, 4. The width. It's probably height actually. No, what's the width? And then looks like it'll actually work about right there, like that. So now I can delete these extra faces. Start moving these vertices around. And yeah, I definitely screwed up there. But it's not going to make any difference, because these are pretty straight. So, I wasn't thinking. That's okay. I'm just going to have to eyeball this is all. Since this is curved in more, I need that to snap there. And it would be really easy to just undo and go back and fix the subdivision if you really wanted to. But it's really not that important. It's pretty easy just to fake. Make it look like the glass fits in here perfectly. And it's probably better off back here. And this one here. And then this one here. So now I have that set up. Just come in here and start moving these here around. Actually have these form pretty close to a straight line, if not straight. About like that. And this side viewport. Go ahead and start moving these. And these right here to follow. That looks about right there, actually. And we can see there's actually a gap there, so we are just going to go ahead and fix this real quick. I'm just using this split polygon tool. And that should look much better, and it does. Gonna assign the blend to it. Like that. And now all we have left is the back part here. So again, we'll go with the plane. Move it on back. Scale it out. so. And 1, 2, it's like 3 to there. That should be enough up here too. So I'll actually need 6 in that direction this time. And then for height, looks like we can get by with 6 in that direction too. I think that'll work at least. And we'll go ahead and make it 7. So now I'll go and delete these unneeded faces. Again, just point snapping them, the vertices. Should probably actually be snapping these down here. Right, just that part. And this final one here. So now we just come in here and start roughing these in again. Just like with the windshield. So now I need to go back here and fix these in the front viewport here. Fix the contours here. So we're paying attention to these edges right here. And so we need to fix these. These are not all straight, so I'm going to do that in this viewport. Still isn't looking quite straight enough for me. There's a dip right here. That looks a little bit better, I think. And even if it's not perfect, it'll look just fine once it's all smoothed out. So let's go ahead and assign that blend to it again. And now, there's our windows and our glass.